I have a bunch of bubble reflective insulation up. I didn't do it everywhere. I did it mostly in spots where I'm gonna have outlets, mostly along the top because this is where the majority of my wires are going. And I'm starting with my 10 gauge. Actually, I'm going to need some more 10 gauge wire. I'm gonna be running this for my shore power. So my distribution box is gonna be right here. It's gonna go up the wall, up here to the center, and then down the center of the trailer, and then right here it's going to take a turn, go down to my my shore power outlet right there. I'm hoping I have enough. I have 20 feet, so I'm hoping that's only 20 feet. All right, we are getting ready to do some more wiring. So right now I'm about to pull some wire from for my distribution box location. I'm gonna go up the side, so distribution box is down here. It's gonna go up the shell, and then I'm gonna follow these tracks right here all the way down the center. I'm gonna try to keep all the wires here in the center so that if there is ever an issue, you would be able to just take off the center panel to be able to access wires rather than having to pull the wall off. So right now I'm just gonna go to all of my, I have outlets marked with some tape so I know which branches I'm gonna be running wire to. It's exciting stuff, almost there. Almost ready to actually start using the electrical system in here, start testing everything out, getting appliances, all that stuff. So here we go. Okay, we have our third zone almost done. These are USB outlets for the countertop. And then that's connected to another outlet right here. I am going to add a little special something on to this plug right here. I'm going to also wire in a wireless charger for this little shelf that's going to be going behind the bench seat. I got the first outlets in so far. So we have the fridge outlet right there because we are going to go with the 110. The three-way fridges, they are more expensive. A lot more things that could go wrong with an RV fridge. At least with the 110, it's a simple plug in and you're good to go. They're more efficient. They have a lot less draw from your overall power. I am gonna increase our battery bank so that we can use the residential fridge. And then we have the bathroom. This is the GCFI outlet too. I did run out of wire, but I'm hoping that that I might have some extra wire after I do all the other outlets. So I have one, two, three up front that I'll need to do. It's gonna be a major wire highway up here pretty soon. I have three vents for fans that I'm gonna add 3 brand new fans. I have one of them so far. I just want to make sure it fits before I put it in because it's gonna get hot in here. Once I get things hooked up, that air conditioner is very heavy and I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get it onto the roof. I gotta get the old one out first, but it's coming along a lot faster than I thought it would. It's finally time to take out all of this old wiring. It's pretty cool. It's really old. All these old fuses and everything, but those need to come out. Also, as a side note, it does help to draw everything out. I am a visual learner and I I have to walk through every step in my brain in order to understand it. But I was able to do it with this diagram. So here, this represents our hallway lights. So we're gonna have a hallway between the bedroom and the main living area. So this hallway, so 1, 2, 3, 4 puck lights are gonna be in this hallway. And so in this hallway, I have power coming in, and then I just drew out took a red pen and a black pen and drew everything out, and then I marked these numbers right here are the different junctions. So I know I need a three terminal lever nut, There's a two terminal lever nut. Sorry, that was hard to say. Anyways, this is just telling me like how many wires are going to be meeting together at this junction, and then just describing where all the junctions are. So I did that with the hallway lights, and then these are the main cabin lights right here, all tied together. I made a mistake when I was doing it, but I'm glad I was able to draw it all out and then figure out what would work and what wouldn't work. And then the S's are switches. So the hallway is going to have 2 switches. Main cabin's going to have 2 switches. So switch here, switch there, just to control if you're going from the bedroom out there and you want to turn on the light to the hallway, you can easily flip the switch. Same with out in the cabin area, and you want to come down the hallway, you can flip a switch on that wall and come down. So just trying to make it so that because I know in our trailer, this is from experience, our trailer, we had 1 light switch and it was at the very end of the trailer. So if you're at one end and you need to go, so if we're in the bedroom and we needed to go all the way down, I know that there was just 1 switch, and actually our main lights, our main cabin lights, they were just LED lights, but they had the switch on the light. So that made it kind of easier, but this, I want it to be set up more like a home, to where if you're going into one room, usually there's multiple switches to control the lights. So that's what I'm trying to do here. But some better clips to hold everything up to the shell. Hopefully I will be done running wires in the next day or so, and then it's going to be hooking everything up to that. Okay, while it doesn't seem that complicated, it was very complicated. It took me a while. Right here is going to be the bathroom area. So in the bathroom, I'm going to have a light above the vanity, and then 1, 2, 3 puck lights with a switch to control all 3 of them. I started at the very end. So I started at the end of the circuit. So that's the vanity light. And then I came over and then tied this puck light to that, tied another puck light to it. And the reason why I'm doing this is because when I put the ceiling on, I'm gonna be able to take these lights off, and I'll be able to drill the hole, and then I'll be able to feed these through the hole, and then that will make connecting much easier. Down this line, I have all, and what's easy about the lights, all the neutrals are tied together, all the positive, or all the power, or sorry, the hot lines are tied together. So that made it easier when I diagrammed everything out. I had to draw everything out to make sure I knew what I was doing. The switch comes from breaking the main power in. So here's our main power coming in from the distribution box. So breaking it from the main power and then tying it into the continuous line of power going into each of the lights. The switch is going to go somewhere along this wall, so I still haven't made it yet, but I know that this is where my switches are going to go, so that's just a placeholder for now. This circuit consists of an exterior light, so actually 2 exterior lights. So 1 exterior light above the steps and 1 floodlight. I am tying those together so that you will have a switch right here that will turn on and off the exterior lights. So in order to do that, what was tricky was trying to figure out how to add a switch to everything. And not being an electrician, this was this took a lot of head scratching to try to figure this out, but I got it. So this is our 12 volt coming in, so we'll just call this our hot line coming in. So from the main line, we have these two jumpers right here. And for a while, this is what was confusing me. But if you add these jumpers, then what you're able to do is not only was I able to tie in the fan to this circuit too. So this fan will have power supplied to it continuously. But if you come down here to this second jumper, so the first jumper goes to the fan. Second jumper comes down to create this junction between the two exterior lights. So I have one wire going over to the exterior, the floodlight. This wire right here goes to the light above the steps. Our neutrals are all tied together. And then from here, I have the positive or the hot line from the floodlight and the hot from the stair light tied together. So then the break in this circuit comes from tying the positive of the jumper to another positive of the main that's coming in. So that will split the power with the switch. So this green, these green clamps, this is where my switch is going to be. I haven't made the switch yet because I'm still deciding where to put it, but I know that if I add a switch in between these two, it will turn it on and off. So with that being said, I have continuous power going to the fan, and I have power splitting to the floodlight and the step light with the switch in between. It's really not that, it's not difficult, but it's super difficult at the same time because it takes a lot of brain power to make sure you know how to split the circuit. So this wasn't the most complicated one. I'll show you the most complicated one that I've done so far. Okay, this is only for demonstration purposes. That's why I only have the short wires, but I have power coming into the center of this switch, and I have the lights coming into the center of this switch. And then I just connect the top two terminals and then the bottom two terminals, and that's it. And then that way, so that's one switch, and then here is, sorry, it's hard to do with one hand, second switch. It works. Okay, so now I just got to clean it up, but it works. I figured out the switch. I was working on a switch last night. I got one of the switches to work, but not the other switch. So did a lot more research, cut a bunch of little pieces. I'm gonna make a bunch of little dongles that will go on the end of this. And then I think I know how to remedy it. So hopefully this works. Hopefully this is the right plug that we'll be using. It is an on-on switch. So power should be coming into the center and then leaving between the top and bottom terminals right here. So hopefully that's the case, but we'll figure it out. Okay, figured it out. Got the two switches connected right here. I only have very short wires just for demonstrating it, but on, so we have this switch and this switch, so on, or off, on, off. So both of them now work. Awesome. So good. Here, I'll show you here. But I spent so long last night working on this harness right here for all the main cabin lights right here. So I'll have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 puck lights here along the middle. I'm trying to work out a switch situation where I'm going to have a switch on a wall right here. There will be a wall here. So this switch will control these lights, and when you come into the trailer, there will be a switch here that will also control these lights. So